Hello, this is Rasha and pronunciation, English pronunciation. We talked before about the sounds of English as one of the elements that we have to know to speak correctly and to understand what we listen to. And we spoke about consonants, and to be specific, we spoke about voicing, voiced and voiceless sounds. Today I'm going to tell you more about consonants, and I'm going to discuss the difficulties that some people face when they try to speak in English. Like, it's the same letter but different pronunciation. Let's have a look. First we have G. And actually we pronounce G, sometimes you pronounce it like a g sound, and sometimes you pronounce it like a j sound, and we call that hard G and soft G. So let me give you some examples. We say goat, this is a hard G. Goat. Game, gas, gloss, glitter, dragon, foggy. So mostly we pronounce G as a G, okay? But if we had letter E or I or Y after G, we pronounce it like J, okay? Like gentle, gem, giant, garage, bridge, age, cage, general. Another letter that we pronounce differently is letter C. With A and O and U, we pronounce it K, like cat, cot. With letters like I, E, and Y, we pronounce it S, like city, scent, bicycle. We also find K sound with the letter K, like in kid or kit, and we find it too with CK, like jacket, locket, pocket, lock, pick, and so on. In English, when K is followed by N, in most cases we do not pronounce K, okay? So it's always silent. So we say knife, we say knee, we say knitting, and so on. So you can see that you cannot depend on the letter you see to pronounce it correctly. The pronunciation may differ from one case to another. And that drove us to the silent letters. Let me tell you a bit about it. We call it ghost letters because you can see it, but you do not hear it, or you do not pronounce it, I mean. Some of them follow a certain rule, so when you see a letter before or after them, you do not pronounce the letter, and some don't follow a rule. Here are some examples that you can judge if there is a certain rule that you can follow or not. Like silent B, you will notice that in most cases there is an M before the B, like in bomb, climb, come, and so on. It's not always like that, but in most cases it is. This is the case. You have the T, pucha, castle, often, although some people actually pronounce it often. We have also whistle and hustle, bustle. Okay, we have silent H in the beginning of a word, like honor, hour, and we have it after W in WH words like when, where, what, why, while. This is a not WH question word, but it's there too. Of course, we talked about the K, and in most cases there is an N after the K. We have silent G in sign, design, foreign or foreigner, a sign, and in most cases we can see an N is followed. We have silent C, silent L, silent P, and of course silent E, or what we call a magic E at the end of the word. We do not pronounce E at the end of the word. And we have also silent N, like in column. We do not actually, in him, we do not actually pronounce the final N in the word. And silent S in isle and island. This could be useful when you memorize the spelling of a word. So spelling is here kind of tricky, and you can also use it when you read something. I will move now to a group of letters that when together we pronounce it in a different way, or we pronounce it as one thing or one sound, like TIO, okay, or SIO, or CIA, or double SIO. They are all pronounced sh. Okay, let's have a look at shun. Okay, this one. Here we go, some examples. So comprehension, decision, expansion, extension, tension, suspicion, suspension. Okay, sorry, suspicion is CION, not SION. So moving on to double SION. Let me give you some examples, and again we pronounce it like sh. Okay, like permission. Okay, the root was permit, so the noun is permission. Position, procession, progression, submission, and succession. Okay, so all these are double SION, and it is pronounced as shun. Again, TION is pronounced as shun again. Okay, so let's have a look at these examples. We have here action, caption, completion, condition, correction, creation, attention, animation, ambition, affection, addition. All these are words ending with TION, and we pronounce it shun. Again, CIAN is pronounced shun again. Let me show you some examples. We have here magician, mathematician, technician, politician, physician. All are pronounced like shun again. We have another suffix, or some letters coming together, and we have j and ch. When it's j. Okay, like measure, like closure, enclosure, composure, pleasure, leisure. Okay, but when we use TURE, it's ch. Remember, this sound is like sh, and with the T, okay, before it. So it's ch, feature, texture, fracture, furniture, future, culture. Okay, fine. JH together are pronounced differently, because sometimes we say it like a g, sometimes we use no sound at all, it's silent, and sometimes we use it as a f. Let's have a look. So we say ghost at the beginning of a word, go, okay, ghost. At the end of the word, sometimes we say laugh. GH is pronounced as laugh. And when an I comes before the GH, we actually don't pronounce it at all. So we say high, or night, 8, and so on. Fine, let's have a look at these words and try to pronounce it. Okay, or them, I'm sorry. So boat, drought, though, thorough, through, tough, cough. So you can see here is no rule. Okay, sometimes you didn't pronounce it, sometimes you pronounce it as f sound, although in both cases we have OU in front of the GH. Finally, we have how to pronounce S at the end of the word, and we will talk also about D at the end of the word. As for the S, we add S when we change to plural, and we add S to the verb in present simple with the he and she and it. Okay, but sometimes you pronounce it as S, sometimes you pronounce it as Z, sometimes you pronounce it as is. Fortunately, we have rules here. So if the verb or word is ended with C, S, X, Z, double S, CH, SH, or GE, we pronounce it as is. So we say races, okay, buses, boxes, okay, and so on. If it is ended with P, K, T, F, GH, or PH, we pronounce it as S. Okay, you say sleeps, books, hats. If it is ended with a vowel sound like plays, sees, we say it like Z sound. Also with B, D, G, L, M, N, N, G, R, and V, like folds, like fans, like sings, and so on. We have similar rules with the pronunciation of ed when we add it to the verb. As you know, when it is a regular verb in the past simple or the third or the past participle of the verb. Okay, if the verb ends with T or D, we pronounce it id, like wanted, needed. If the verb ends with P, K, F, GH, CH, SH, SSC, or X, we pronounce it as T, okay? Like watched, like danced, like fixed, like helped. And we pronounce it as D with verbs ending with L, N, R, G, V, S, Z, and B, and M, okay? Like claimed, like robbed, amazed, loved. Also, we pronounce it as D when the verb ends with vowel sounds, like enjoyed, like played, like tried, continued, followed, and so on. Okay, that would be all for today. Remember, when it comes to pronunciation, practice is the perfect solution. Next time, inshallah, we are going to talk about vowels, long vowels, short vowels, and diphthongs or combined vowels. Thank you very much for listening. I hope you enjoyed it. Stay safe.